I never thought love could start with spilled coffee, but that's exactly how it happened. It was just a regular Monday. I woke up already annoyed at the world, half asleep, trying to make my usual coffee in my old French press. The thing cracked, coffee spilled everywhere on the counter, my shirt the floor. My patience died right there with it. I threw on some jeans, didn't care that my t-shirt had a giant coffee stain, and rushed to the nearest cafe because I knew I couldn't survive without caffeine. That's when I saw her. She was in line right in front of me, trying to explain to the barista that she wanted half sugar, but the other half replaced with caramel syrup. The barista looked like they were questioning all their life choices. I couldn't help but laugh. She turned around, looked straight at me, and snapped, "What's so funny?" I froze and blurted out, "It just sounded like a math equation. I always failed algebra." She paused for a moment, then started laughing. And just like that, I was hooked. We ended up talking while waiting for our orders. I told her about my tragic French press. She joked that maybe it was a sign I needed to find someone who could make me better coffee. Turned out she lived nearby, and came there every morning too. Instead of grabbing my drink to go, I sat with her, and we talked until I realized I was already an hour late for work. But honestly, totally worth it. After that, we started seeing each other all the time. At first by accident at the cafe, then on purpose. I eventually asked her out for pizza. Nothing fancy, just a tiny pizzeria, the cheapest margarita we could share, and a bottle of cheap wine poured into plastic cups. She smirked and said, "This is the most romantic date of my life." I shrugged and told her, "At least it's honest." That was the thing, it wasn't glamorous, but it was real. Just two people laughing about stupid stuff. Of course, the quirks started to show quickly. She kept every single receipt, even ones from buying gum. I asked her why, and she said, "What if I need to return it?" I couldn't resist. "You're going to return chewing gum?" Meanwhile, I was the guy who constantly forgot to take out the trash. She'd ask, "Did you take it out?" And I'd say, "I'll do it in a minute." 3 hours later, the bag was still there. She loved listening to podcasts before bed. I, on the other hand, snored so loud she'd elbow me at night and mutter, "I love you, but you sound like heavy machinery right now." We joked, we argued, we made up. It felt like the beginning of something real. A few months in, we had our first real fight. Over milk. I came home one evening, exhausted, just wanting to relax. I walked into the kitchen and found her standing there, holding an almost empty carton of milk, tears in her eyes. I panicked and asked, "What happened?" She shook and said, You left 3 drops again." I stared at the carton. Yeah, it was basically empty, but crying over it? I tried to calm things down. "Come on, it's just milk." "Big mistake." "Just milk," she shouted. "It's not about the milk. It's about how you always leave things unfinished. You promise to take out the trash, you don't. You say you'll clean up, you leave a mess. I feel like I'm the only one actually trying here." That's when it hit me. It wasn't about milk at all. It was everything else piling up. She felt overwhelmed, and me brushing it off made it worse. We ended up not talking that night. She locked herself in the bedroom. I crashed on the couch. The next morning I woke up to the smell of coffee. On the table was a brand new French press and a note. "Learn not to leave empty milk cartons. I love you, idiot." I almost cried right there. We hugged, apologized, and laughed about it later. Since then, I've been trying to be more mindful. I still sometimes leave those infamous 3 drops, but now it's just another inside joke between us.